Around 170 kilometres from Brisbane lies Cherbourg, a place with a dark history. Once a government-controlled settlement, thousands of First Nations people were sent here, including Auntie Ruth Hegarty, who arrived at just 6 months old.
It really was a prison. Every minute of the day you were controlled. You might have only got hit once, but crikey, that was sufficient enough.
Families were torn apart, children forbidden from speaking to adults, and those at the mission punished simply for being Aboriginal.
I did not know I had a tribe. I did not know I had a father. I did not know who my relatives were. No one tells you anything. This is me in the picture. This is our Sunday school picture. These are all dormitory girls in the back. 54 tribes they brought down. They would be taken from their own families out near their tribes. These little girls and boys, it was terrible to watch them. I feel sad because we've lost so much. Every one of them would have been taken off their parents. They don't know why. None of us knew why.
When Auntie Ruth was 4, her mother was sent away to work.
I sat there waiting for her. And as it got dark, I kept calling out, "And where are you?" And then you heard the voice, "Is that you, Ruthie? If you don't get to bed, we'll put you in a dark room." I don't think I cried because no one cries at the dormitory.
For 2 decades, Auntie Ruth knew no freedom. She worked as a domestic servant and raised 8 children. But after the 1967 referendum, she was finally granted permission to leave Cherbourg, and that's exactly what she told her husband Joe she wanted to do.
I said, "We're leaving Cherbourg. There's no jobs for our children. You either come with us or you stay here. I am going with my children."
The family moved to Brisbane, and while balancing raising children and ensuring they went to school, Auntie Ruth became a fierce campaigner for Indigenous rights.
I had no idea that the government was taking that money from us. I couldn't believe that anybody could take something from us that we had worked for. I decided then that would be my thing. I marched for that. I led the marches. I did, and I'm still involved with it.
She was a driving force in the stolen wages movement and has spent her life raising awareness of the lasting effects of government policies on First Nations families. She's also written 2 memoirs.
I remember Joe saying to me one day, "Why don't you write a story about yourself, your life in the dormitory? Your children don't know anything about you." I said, "Good idea. I could start that."
A stage adaptation of Auntie Ruth's autobiography, Is That You, Ruthie?, recently sold out at QPAC in Brisbane, but the creators wanted to ensure the community at the heart of the story could experience it too.
Oh my God, this is going to be a beautiful photo.
Inside a sports hall turned performance space, people from across Murgon and Cherbourg gathered.
I think it's important as Indigenous people where we can bring stories back to the grassroots, back home. It's all about educating our young people, black and white, that this happened in our past. What are we doing to change our future?
But day by day, time passed. The rules, the drills, the bells in the morning.
She turns 96 this year. She's still with us, and she's as smart as a tack and more energy than all of us. And it's been awesome to see her at, nearly every performance that we do.
Our generation had all the stories, all the memories, and if we haven't written them down, it's lost. Australia is changing, and if we haven't noticed it, where have we been? My children are married to whites, and when you marry into an Aboriginal family, you're related to everybody. It just brings families together. That's what happens.
Auntie Ruth, who now has great-great-grandchildren and 24 awards to her name, says she has never taken her freedom for granted and knows once she's gone, her name will live on.
They will remember me. I've done such a lot of work. This is my 96th year. What do I have to complain about? I've got everything.
What an incredible
incredible lady. It must be so hard for her to keep reliving what happened to her and her family, and yet she spent a lifetime educating us about, you know, what went on in our past. It's incredible.
As Leah Purcell said there, the educating is such a part of it, and incredible for Auntie to be saying, you know, what do I have to complain about, with so much that was taken away, and hers is just one of so many stories that have happened in this country that is all part of the truth-telling that we need to have to move forward as a nation.
So beautiful, just that gentle voice and that incredible calmness after a life of turmoil. Yeah, it just makes you want to cry.
And how good does she look for 95? She's
not bad.
incredible.